This is Gem Radio, the radio podcast. We play the present that'll be the future of hip hop, R&B, and beat making. I am your host and curator, Mr. V, and this is episode 32. I just got done playing some good food, Violet, Brain Orchestra, and much more. And a set list will be available in the description of the episode. If you want to support Golden Era Music Group / podcast, go and purchase your merch at goldeneramerch.com. We got tees, hoodies, mugs, and tote bags. The support would be greatly appreciated. Please go to goldeneramerch.com. And be sure to check out our playlist on Spotify called Discover with Gem Radio. It's a playlist curated by me and co-executive producer Terrell Griffin, where we play artists that have been in past episodes and will be in future episodes. And we also got music from today's guest, Naja Young. So please be sure to go to the link in the description and please subscribe to Discover with Gem Radio on Spotify. Now, today's guest hails from Union City, New Jersey. I've been a fan of her music for a while. You might recall I played Sayonara, Ode to Him, in past episodes. And this episode's guest is Naja Young, R&B singer, video director, and, might I say, creative genius. This has been an artist that I've wanted to interview since I've heard her music, and I'm glad to have her as a guest as we discuss her new EP, Stretching, creating a music video, breaking down the video for cycles, and having a conversation about music overall. So let's get into this. This is Gem Radio, episode 32, and this is an interview with Naja Young. This is Gem Radio episode 32, and I got one of my favorite R&B artists and video directors. She's hot off the release of her new EP, Stretching. We got Naja Young on the show. How's everything going, Queen?
Everything is going great. I've just been chilling. I'm glad everybody's receiving this project well. I'm glad.
You already answered like the rest of this question already.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I like it's always funny when that happens. It's all good. But I'm not like I was gonna ask like how's first off the release of this project, but how are you doing? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I've been doing really well. Yeah, I've just been I'm always constantly working on music, but as I was saying, I'm really happy this project has been received well and everything like that, and people have been showing a lot of love, so I'm always grateful.
And you seem to I know you announced that the EP was done, but you seem to have dropped out of nowhere. So it's were you aware of the buzz that you already had already?
Kinda no at the same time. I felt like people it was funny because people were pressing me to drop more music constantly. I would have random people DM me we need to drop more music, and I'm like, all right.
I wanted to be one of those people, but I was kind of I felt like your process in terms of how the music is, it has to be a very strenuous process to this because you're fucking perfect in terms of music.
Thank you. I was working on it for a while, but I would say it wasn't anything that I was trying to go real hard with. I think I really just wanted this to be more of an introduction type of project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of just dropped it out of the blue. I was when it's done, and I'm gonna just put it out whenever I feel like it's together. So
yeah, I just feel it is my job to make sure people listen to your music. Not only that, your video. I'm gonna get into that really later in the interview as well. Your directorial stuff, and it's really fucking amazing as well. So let's talk about Stretching. The EP is called Stretching, of course, and it opens up with I tried to research the damn skit where that shit came from, but it was about people would be in the greatest of shape, but they can't touch their toes. Like, where'd you get that from? Like, what?
So that that was I sampled that from Joe Rogan.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he was on his little
Podcast.
talking about
That shit ain't little.
mobility.
That shit got 900 episodes. I'm trying to get there.
I literally looked up. I'm like Joe Rogan flexibility interview, and it came up. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it fit perfectly. Like I definitely like wanted the intro to have some type of sort to do with the title, and like I came across that video and I'm like
Use that.
I'm like, this is perfect actually. Like he like said exactly what I was looking for.
Have you ever forwarded your music to Joe Rogan in any shape
I
or
have
form?
not
You
forwarded
should fucking do that. That shit might be dope. You might play your record and like do like a breakdown like he did for that R. Kelly video where he beat up Milton.
Definitely, I gotta swing that by him real quick.
Yo, like you may never know. He might fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
So like stretching, like what does that title correlate in terms of the music that's also on this project?
So I named it Stretching because like I got the idea from when I was younger. Like while I was in high school, I did like a lot of like I did track, and I was a runner for the most part. Like all year round I would run. And like I was just thinking back, like, all right, like stretching was honestly one of the most important things when it came to like just anything in general, anything athletic. You always have to stretch first before you reach any other stage, before you do anything. That's where the real strength comes from, is like flexibility. That also matters, you know what I'm saying? People always focus on strength, and you got to stretch first. So I felt like this is my first project. This is just me stretching. You know what I'm saying? Before I start, putting out real, more serious music. You get what I'm saying?
You don't think this shit's serious? This shit is fucking fire.
I mean, it's serious. I feel like this album is me stretching out first. You know what I'm saying? It matters, but there's more to come, which is the message I was trying to get across with the title.
So you like answered the last question. That's okay. It's more musical. No, but like to me, I feel like this project really is an amazing introduction. I make sure like the one that you dropped that was like a unmixed stuff that you had. Yeah, do not introduce him to that stuff yet until
no. That was some very like exclusive stuff. I mean, it's already gone off the internet, so it doesn't even exist anymore.
It's probably in one of my mixes. I don't know, but it's the only way you probably will hear one of the songs.
Yeah, the only way. It's more of a thing that it's like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then don't talk about it. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things. Like, if you know, you know.
Yep.
You heard it. Mm-hmm. If you didn't, it's too bad for you.
Yeah. So let's go a little bit back to 2016. Were you a part of a group with J Words and Mello?
It wasn't necessarily a group. I mean, at that time, like, we were hanging out a lot. I mean, we're all still friends for sure, but at that time we were hanging out a lot, and like we were just like, well, this was like the beginning of the music for the most part. This is all when we were like just first starting out. So we were just hanging out. We were like, you know what? Like let's make a song together. And then out of nowhere came Voodoo Mama. So that's how that.
It came out really good. Like it seems like there's a problem. Like these these groups that come back together, these legacy groups that come back together, and it seems like they try to out-sing each other.
Yeah.
And it seems like with this one, it just seems like y'all just showcased y'all vocal ranges on that track, and it's like it doesn't seem like y'all trying to fight each other over it.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a really good time. I feel like for us just starting out, like that was a lot of fun. I think we were more so just having fun than we weren't even thinking about trying to make like a crazy hit or trying to make like the best song or try to, I think it was really, because the way it worked out, we literally wrote that in about like a day. We were just chilling, and Jay Words was making the beat, and then Mel came out with the hook, and then I'm like, all right, that inspired me to write my verse, and then Jen wrote her verse, and then it was like it was all just done. It all happened like super. I feel like super organically, and that's how I love like my collabs to be. That's how I love like creating my music. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really forced. I feel like with situations with like a lot of groups, I feel like a lot of times it's forced, and a lot of people feel like, they don't have the whole entire song to showcase their talent. So I mean, I think they feel like they have that one little bit to kind of shine through, so they overdo it. But I felt, yeah, this was just super organic, super out of the blue, and I think we were really just having fun with it. And I'm happy with the way it turned out. I don't think any of us really expected it to like turn out like that, but it
Shit.
it, it came out really good.
It got
Yeah,
over 1,000 views on YouTube, so therefore I
yeah.
think it turned out very well. And the video is pretty is different. It's like I said, I gotta get a little bit further into that in the interview about
Hmm.
videos and how they're just coming out on your end. But
Yeah,
also you used to go by Naja the Great. Now, in the world where everybody want to be the something, like Tyler the
yeah.
Creator and stuff like that, what made you want to go by? I guess that's your Naja Young is your government name, right?
Yes. So it's funny, like I was always set on my name being Naja the Great, and then I felt like that kind of, at first when I chose that as my name, I felt like that was like gonna set me apart from everyone, but then in reality I felt like that grouped me in with everyone. I
Mm.
also felt like putting Naja the Great, I'm setting like expectations for myself and people that listen to me. And I don't want any expectations when people are listening to my music. I just want them to like listen with an open ear, not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I used to go by Naja the Great, and I also came across like a lot of people were like naming themselves like the Great or whatever, having something going after their name, and I just felt like Naja Young is like my actual name, and there's like literally no one with that name, and like no one has claimed that name, and I'm really happy that's the case. That's why I was like, you know what, like my parents set me up for success.
Yes,
I'm
they
gonna
did.
just keep this and have this as my actual performance name and everything. So it just all worked out like that. So I'm really happy that no one has that name. It's just me. So
Yeah, and back to like the Voodoo Mama video and everything like that. Like y'all still work with those guys, right?
so they're no longer like at the moment they were called like Red Tower Productions, but yeah,
Oh,
they kind of like both disparted. So after a while, like the two other videos I did, like Ode to Him was done by them, but Red Tower was no longer really a thing. They just worked together on that video, like all of us like together, and then my last one was only um my last video, Cycles, was shot by Alana, which is just one of the dudes from the group. But yeah, now they all separately do their own thing, but they're still working on video and production stuff. So
okay. I thought you did directed the video for
no, no, no,
him.
I directed it, but they like shot it.
Okay,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? Like filmed it. They worked on the actual like film production and like editing. I directed and like wrote out the whole script and everything like that. So
Where. So like the first record of yours that I heard was, I think, was Sayonara and 21. And what
mhm.
made me like your music was that your voice just felt different from everyone else, but it did have that retro feel, and it has a bit of today's sound. Like your sound has a bit of today's sound mixed in with some old stuff. So
Yeah.
so tell me, like, what were your influences growing up musically?
Growing up musically, I felt like I had many different influences in my life. Like, to start, like I feel like where I usually get that like that I don't even know what to call it because it's you know what I'm saying. It's like,
Nostalgic or
yeah, that nostalgic sound. Like I grew up listening to a lot of like old reggae music. Like that's all my parents listened
mm,
to. So I just grew up listening to a bunch of reggae, and I feel like the way they they write their music and their melodies, their rhythms. It's very like they try to modernize it, but it still has that old sounding, that soulfulness to it. And also, like my mom, like at a very early age, put me on to like Sade and Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott. So like from a very young age, I was just listening to them. I felt like I picked up like these original way these ladies would rhyme, and you know their whole style to it. So I feel like I kind of like took that type of just the rhythm they have to it and the flow, and I kind of just made it mine in a sort of way. I feel like I kind of make it more today and like more, I don't even know how to explain it. It's more me, but
Right.
though I feel like I carry a lot of all those influences, that I was brought up on.
Yeah. So most majority of the time, when it comes down to like in the household, you were just listening to nothing but reggae, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all my parents listen to is
Well,
nothing but
Sade
reggae.
and Jill Scott, but like also I feel like when it comes down to music taste and like how you get musically upbringed into like in this music profession, it's all about what's been played in the house and
Yeah.
also what you play with your friends. Like, did y'all have like to go artists y'all go to like with your friends
Well,
and
when
stuff
I
like
was
that?
younger, I was always into female everything. I was a huge like, if you're a woman, I'm gonna support you. So I
Word.
loved every female rapper that came out at the time. And I was a huge, huge, huge Mariah Carey fan. Like me and my
Mm,
friends, I remember being in like third grade, and we would always I copped the new album. I think it was the Emancipation of Mimi at the time that
that
came
record
out.
is still fire.
Yeah. And like all my friends, we would try to relate so bad. Mind you, we're like 9 years old, trying to feel heartbroken to this Mariah Carey music.
9 years
But
old and
yeah,
Emancipation of Mimi came out. Damn, I'm old
yeah.
as shit.
I
Oh
was probably
man.
about like 9 or 10 at that time. Yeah,
Fuck,
like
Naja, I'm
well.
old as shit. Thanks.
But yeah, no, for sure. I was a huge. I went through a lot of like music stages growing up. Like I loved Alicia Keys. Like
Mm.
that was a huge moment for me. Copped her CD. I was rocking the braids. Like definitely, yeah. Like and my dad would encourage it as well. Like he's just like, all right, you like Alicia Keys? Let's get you some braids. So that's how that went down. I loved Rihanna too when Rihanna first came out because she had that whole like R&B but reggae swag as well, and I felt like
Yeah.
I was really happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, we got a Caribbean girl out here, and she's doing the
And,
R&B thing. So
and,
that
and
also
then
really
she switched
inspired me
up.
as well. Yeah, she did switch up, but she also did say she's coming out with a reggae album now
Oh
or
shit.
something. Yeah, something soon. So I'm like, damn, I waited a whole like 10,
Decade.
12 years for this, and now it's finally coming out. So
Hey, at least you're alive for it. That's the best thing about that shit.
word, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's at least it's what do they say? Sooner than later. There we
Sooner
go.
than later, yeah.
Sooner than
It
later.
doesn't matter. Like everybody in life goes through changes, like in their
Yeah.
careers, in terms of like what they're influenced by in music. So, I think that would be an awesome thing to see her go back to the roots of like where she started.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no Pond to replay, nigga, but
Yeah.
you know.
It ain't gonna be the upon the replay for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely, I feel like I have high expectations for that, so I hope it's fire.
So another notch that's on your belt is that you're a music video director. Uh,
Yes.
what made you get into that?
I feel like when it comes to anything I work on, I literally like I turn into like a psychopath. So
I
like
knew it.
I so it all started actually with Voodoo Mama. I didn't really have much like passion to ever really like direct a music video. I didn't know like what it took to do a music video or anything. Everything that I've done, I've always just learned as I go. So when it came to Voodoo Mama, we made the song, and like I heard the song, and I'm like, as soon as the song was done, I'm like, bro, we have to do a video for this. Like that's what we just have to do it. We got to make a video. So um I had hit up me and Jen, we both hit up the dudes that we Alon and Jesus. They were Red Tower at the time. We both hit them up, and I was like, yo, we got to do a video for this song. and we all met up and like talked about it. And I felt like during that time, like I'm a very like once I have a vision in my head, like it has to get done. I feel like I'm not really good at compromising
Mm,
with like what I have in my head. If I have a vision, like it has to happen and we have to figure out how we're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? There's no
right.
like we can't do this or we can't do that.
I had a
So
feeling it was like that
yeah,
in your head.
yeah, I was. It's always more so. I'm like, how are we gonna get this done? And so with Voodoo Mama, I felt like that was the case. Especially working with a lot of people, I'm like, yo, I can't like let my vision like be like stray from what it originally was. And so every time I was doing a video, I felt like I know what I want best. So that's how I know it sounds a little crazy, but
No,
that's pretty much
I
how
think
it
it's not
started.
I think it's not well how it started, but I think like going into where you are now, it's like only you know how you want your vision to really come out and how
Yeah.
you want it to be perceived into the public. So it makes
Yeah.
sense for you wanting to like step in and be like, I want it to be this way, as
Yeah.
opposed to just being the way like a lot of directors just like, a lot of people who shoot the video, they just shoot the video. But it's just like when you have somebody giving you direction to put something together, it binds everything together with the music itself. So you have something going on with this whole directorial
Yeah.
shit. Because I did see the tweet when you said you wanted to direct other people's stuff.
Yes.
Have you done that yet?
I have not done that yet, but I'm definitely like there's a few people that I've like spoken with them that I do want to work on some like visuals as well. I'm trying to do more I want to get into more like short film type of work and not even just
Damn,
music
you just
videos.
like
Yeah, I'm
you're
trying
just
to
good with these questions, knowing that I have I had these in the chamber. You're
I'm
good with
definitely
this.
I'm definitely trying to do more work in like just film as well, but and I also want to do more work with like producers and beat makers because I feel like that opens the door up to more ideas when there
Well,
isn't lyrics involved. So I'm also trying to like work on that as well, like work with more producers with their beats and stuff like that. But
also you're with you're dating Brain Orchestra,
yes.
and I think a lot y'all both are very very creative people. So I think that rubs off of you both of y'all really
Yeah.
well. So how was like the meeting between y'all two when y'all first met?
So we actually met each other through music, which is funny. We were always friends. Like we were friends for probably about a year and a half or 2 years or so like that. We
Okay.
always yeah, we knew each other, but it wasn't like we'd always cross paths. We would see each other's at shows and we were just like we always talk like, yeah, we gotta collab, like we gotta make a song together. But it wasn't anything like it wasn't really anything like crazy at first. We were just friends for a really long time until like one day we were like, yo, like finally, like I had a show and he came to. He was like, "Yo, we gotta collab." So we met up the next day, and we worked on a song. And then after that day, the rest was history. We literally like went on a date that same night. So that's how
that's
that went down.
that's fucking awesome. So
Yeah.
when it comes down to like being a music video director, like what are your creative influences in terms of making videos?
My creative influences. I feel like I definitely take a lot from like oh my god all over the place. I'm just like I'm a very big like Stanley Kubrick and Quentin Tarantino fan, so I feel like I take a
Mm.
lot of like inspiration. Mostly, I would say from Quentin Tarantino. Like I really like the way.
So you write nigga a lot in your scripts.
No, 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 none of that, none of that. I'm like I really like the way just the outside of the boxness. Like forget the whole script when it comes to the actual the lingo that they use. That's definitely not what I use in my videos. But
No, you don't put scripts
um,
in the video. I'm just
nah,
playing around
I
too
love the
much.
way. I love the just the little details that he puts into like shooting every shot that he does. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so much detail when it comes into like his cuts and the color schemes and just the whole like aesthetic
Who?
to the whole
We,
entire vibe of the film and the scene, that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just like, it's very like, you could tell that it was one person behind this, not even just one, but it's just like a person behind this that knew exactly what he wanted and knew the right people, the right creative people to put a great piece of work together. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I feel like that is what I'm always super inspired by. I also take a lot of inspiration from like older music videos that I've seen in the past. Like when I was younger, I feel like in the 2000s, like music videos back then were crazy and popping and outside of the box. I love Busta Rhymes and his music videos, and like Missy Elliott, and all
Mm.
those music videos to me were crazy, and they weren't scared of being looked at as being weird or funny. And I love like quirky, funny, or just weird things in videos, just outside of the box things that you can't see. And I feel like when it comes to videos, I always try to make it like a movie. Like I feel like if I get bored watching a video, like it's a terrible thing. I hate having to like turn off a music video. I want to be able to watch it straight through without being bored. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what I always think about when I direct my videos. I always try to make it like lively. I always try to make it like quality work, and I try to make it that there's like nothing else out there that's comparable to whatever I make. I want it to stand out from
Yeah.
everything else for sure. So
You have succeeded at that, most definitely. So we did talk about the fact that you are thinking about doing short films.
yeah.
What would be the premise of your first film if you were to make one?
I have no idea actually. I feel like I haven't really put like too much thought into like a short film. I always have like ideas floating around, but I feel like right now I haven't been at the time to like, I haven't been in the mindset to even like work on a or to even think about what I would want my short film to be. Cuz I mean, what I basically had in mind, I was thinking about doing like little shorter videos, just like little like minute long videos, you know what I'm saying, with like crazy, I can't even go into it, but um I haven't really like ventured into the short film aspect of it, or even thought about like what I would want it to be. But I'm like, I definitely know that's something that I would like to get into. But I just feel like at this point in my life, like that's gonna come at a different point. 'Cause right now, I don't know. I feel like I'm more into like focusing into getting like the music aspect of my life out of the way. Not necessarily out of the way, but I feel like I'll come to a stage where I'm just like content with like doing what I've done in music, and move along to like film and work on that for a bit, and then maybe move back onto music. But
Right.
that's how I sort of see it in the future to come.
And also, you've also talked about the possibility of directing videos for other people. Do you think there'll be a difficulty, being that it's not your vision? I mean, your
Um,
music and everything like that.
I feel like the people that I've already like reached out to video wise, like know me. Well, they all know me personally, so they
Mm.
know, they already know how I am and how I work. I don't think there would be any type of like conflict or any type of issue, just because I feel like if you're asking me to be a part of your video, or you want me to direct your video, like you're trusting me. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I need to have that trust. And other than that, I feel like there is no issue. If you trust me, then there is no issue. The
Right.
product will always be dope. That's how I think about it. So
Eh,
I mean, like I've had like little I mean, I've had people hit me up about doing like directing videos, but I mean, for the most part, I feel like the way I work, I need to have like a clean slate. I don't like joining in on like different projects with like already like an idea established. I always feel like I just need a clean slate for like open ideas to come, and like how we could develop ideas. That's
Right.
more so how I like to work. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a belief out there. There's not a lot of African Americans being pushed in R&B today. Do you think that's true?
Uh, I feel like, hmm.
I know you're from Belize. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Well, you're from California, but
Yeah, my
you
parents are
you have
from
your parents
Belize.
are from
Yeah.
Belize,
Um,
but still
I
that's African American us.
yeah. I mean, also, I'm black, so I
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
like, yeah, I feel
So
like, how could I say this? It's also one of those things that I feel like are yes and no.
mhm.
Because I feel like, man, how could I even answer this question? I would just say I think the people. Hmm.
Do you think it's
It's
just that people are not looking for that certain R&B from that certain demographic?
I feel, well, not necessarily. I think there's people doing behind the scenes work and not necessarily like publicizing it or like,
Yeah.
being at the forefront of their music.
Hmm.
And I think there's people that are doing that. I would say, I don't know. It's a this is a I feel like it's a difficult topic. I've never This is crazy because no one's ever asked me this question. And now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, like, because I feel like there's definitely artists out here, like,
Yep.
with the movement are always here to uplift like other black people and things like that. Um, I don't think there's ever enough, I guess, to answer the question. There's never enough, you know what I'm saying? There's never enough
Right.
people out here, repping this shit. There's never enough people trying to help out. I feel like there's never enough people, trying to support the cause, genuinely, I would
Right.
say. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes it comes off as more so like publicity, like they're just doing this to reach out to a demographic they
A
know.
lot of times that I keep hearing this whole thing about the whole not a lot of black voices in R&B is like they keep talking about the blue eyed soul thing,
Yeah.
and I don't be getting it because it's just like there's so much other there's so much other artists other than Robin Thicke, Justin Timberlake,
Yeah, I feel
and
like I just think that you got to look deeper. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? There's a
exactly.
lot of people. There's a lot of black people in R&B. There's a lot of black people in hip hop. There's a lot of I feel like R&B is like, to me, the way I look at R&B, that is a black genre. I feel like there's
Yeah.
always black voices in it. I think more so people look at R&B as like maybe there's not enough dark skin black people in
Mm.
R&B, you know what I'm saying? I think what the issue is with a lot of people, they feel like there's a lot of like light-skinned people coming through, a lot of mediocre like light-skinned artists that are being pushed upon us and not enough dark-skinned
Hey,
artists
hey,
that are being
hey, hey,
supported.
hey, hey, I'm light skinned. Chill the fuck out.
But I feel like that is more so of like the argument. I don't think it's like, and to some extent I could agree. I
Yeah.
always feel like there's always, but at the same time it's like it's really it's a
It's a hard
difficult time.
question.
Yeah, it's a
You want
hard
you want to
question
skip
just
that question?
because, no, just because it's like at the same time I feel like there isn't enough, but at the same time there's also a lot of people that are
Yeah,
out
there
here
is.
like trying to be successful in R&B, especially as like, being a dark skinned artist. There's people who aren't being supported enough, and I think it's like half and half. It's a really difficult question because I think a lot of people just like to talk, and they're just
Mm.
saying like, there's not enough, dark skinned people in R&B or hip hop, whatever the case is.
I don't think it's dark skin. He just said this black. They
With
don't.
black
There's not enough black
people,
faces and stuff.
black faces, but it's like you also have to look deeper, you know what I'm saying? There's people who are struggling to get listens and plays out here who are making great music,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got to look deep enough. I think a lot of people, when it comes to music, they just want it like thrown at them, and it's like you also got to find these artists. That's how they come up, you know what I'm saying? They don't just come up, they don't become famous overnight, they don't get known overnight. You got to look into your local communities as well and support these people, and
Oh
not just
yeah.
like wait for it to be fed to you. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my very long answer on this question. But it's a difficult subject because I feel like it's half and half. There's always room for more, but you also got to look deeper and support these people as well, and not just talk.
Right.
Put the
So,
action behind it.
of course, of course. Now, because you bring in such a different feel as compared to the current generation, do you think there's some elements in R&B that are missing? in today's R&B?
Um, hmm. I think I think it's like these answers is all gonna be like kind of yes
I'm
and
not.
no at the
I'm not.
same
I'm
time.
not gonna lie. Because the reason why I came up with this question because it was the funniest shit ever. I think I watched the Action Bronson interview that said all these R&B acts don't have love in their damn music. That shit is missing.
Yes, and that's the truth. I feel like when you come up, I think you know your roots in music. You listen to soul music, you listen to music in the past. I think you'll have that part of you in your music. That's just gonna show automatically. Like when you're singing, it shows the type of music you listen to and what you were brought up on. That's just the way I look at it. And I think there's a lot of like R&B artists now coming up that like are new to music at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up, but they don't really know like their history in music, and it shows.
Yes.
Like their music is it's gonna miss the soul. It's gonna miss the rhythm. It's gonna miss like it's not gonna have that type of aspect. I think it's gonna sound a lot more. I don't want to say like I'll say more like pop R&B. That's how I usually like to label that type of music. It's more so pop R&B, not necessarily like soulful R&B. And I think that's more so the trend now. A lot of people are coming out with like this pop R&B and very like just misusing this auto tune. Everybody's on this auto tune
Yeah.
shit. So I don't know. I think it's like it's also half and half because there's a lot of new like soulful singers that are coming up. But I mean, there's also I feel like R&B right now and the music right now is at a crazy point. Like, um, because there's just so many people feel like they can make music, and that's great. But I think like you definitely got to show respect to the people that came before you and the music that was before you. You gotta definitely do your research, and you know what I'm saying, that you gotta definitely I that's how I've always felt like my entire life. I've always felt like you got to show respect and you got to definitely know like the past and what came before you and study that, you know what I'm saying, so you could make better music. That's just the way I look at it. So I think like a lot of these new, like R&B light singers that are coming up don't really like know their music history or don't aren't
Mm.
really weren't raised on that. So
I think they were. They just want to. They just know that right now, disrespecting the craft is like the new fucking troll of all.
true, yeah, true. That's also a thing. They're just disrespecting the crap. But to those people, to me, they don't really exist. Like I don't really like pay that any mind. I feel like there's people that just literally don't know, like they don't listen, and like they
Yeah.
have to. But like I think at some point, like there's music that has longevity and there's music that doesn't, and that's only like gonna be here for a little bit and gone tomorrow. And that's just literally the way I look at it when it comes to things like that.
All right. Yeah. So you've been in the scene for a while. So are there any favorite artists that you fuck with that you would like to work with visually and musically
Oh my god.
that you haven't worked with?
Oh my god.
And yo, and if she answers any questions, if she answers like this, and people get mad about, look, yo, like I said, three, not the
um
whole world.
three.
Three of each,
Okay,
visually
three.
and musically.
Musically, uh this is a hard question to
Is it?
narrow everything down. I mean, like, all right, three people I haven't worked with that I want to work with. I would have to say, da, 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 da.
Uh-oh.
This is a hard question.
Is it really? Because you have a lot of
It
people.
is.
You have. Is it the people you want to work with, or the people you just don't feel like you don't really feel like working with any of these people?
Uh, it's not even that. I just feel like, um,
Yeah,
fucking, I have
you're
to.
you're you're not gonna offend nobody with
No, no,
this
no.
at
That's
all.
the thing. Like, I don't want to offend anybody
You're
either. At the
not.
same time,
You're not.
um, I definitely. I would definitely want to make some music with Crime Apple. That's for sure. I'm
What?
trying to. Yeah.
Really?
What is that? What is that? Really left field? Yeah.
Nah, cause I know people who know him. That's why I'm like,
No,
oh,
no, I
okay,
know him too. That's yeah, that's the homie. But
okay.
I'm definitely trying to do something with him. I'll definitely I definitely want to
Musically or visually?
musically.
Okay.
Musically, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah, musically for sure. I'm trying to bring back um
That rapper and
that
R&B artist
rapper singer
connection.
vibe, you feel me? That old
Yeah.
school rapper. That's definitely what I'm trying to come with. So yeah, I think, and then other than that, I would say I'm trying to work with J words for sure.
You work with him
Again,
already.
oh fuck, damn. All right.
Come on.
It's all right, all right, all right. To explain this, it's just like it's hard because I feel like I don't really like I don't think about collabs often. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah, I really don't. Like I feel like I'm more so I keep a very like close, like tight knit circle with people I work with. I don't really think about
Oh.
like damn, like I'm trying to collab. I think like rarely it comes like here and there, but it's just like I don't even know how to explain it. Like I don't want to sound like
No, no,
Hollywood,
no, 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 no,
so
no.
I
You're
don't want
not.
to
You're
ever.
not. You're not. It's understandable.
Yeah, I
Now
don't
I
really think
understand.
about like. There's definitely that's what I'm saying. It's a hard question because there's definitely people that like I want to work with in the scene, but I haven't really put like a crazy thought behind just to like pick like 3 people off the top. I definitely knew I want to make music with Crime Apple, but it's
No,
a hard
no,
question.
no, no, no. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know if it's hard or just a loaded question. I'm not really sure.
No, no, no. I'm like,
No, no,
no.
no,
I'm like trying to. I'm like
no,
over
no,
here
no,
trying to
no, no,
think. I'm like
no, no,
visually
no. It's
though.
okay.
Visually, I feel like, man, this is a hard question. I'm gonna
It
have to think
is
back on this one. This is gonna
not.
have to be an unanswered for now because I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta, yeah.
So we can probably just talk about the video cycles because that's a major focal point here because I love that video from front to back. It is an amazing video. So I wanted to talk about the color palette in the video. It just like the colors just really mesh well. So like when you start directing this video, like tell me what was the process behind directing this one?
Oh my god, this video was definitely the most difficult video I've ever done.
It looks difficult.
Yeah, it definitely was difficult. Like
I'm not gonna lie, Naja. After I saw that video, I said you are most definitely an industry plant. But I was just
I was really like, I definitely knew like I wanted to do another video, and I was thinking like, damn, like this next video I come out with definitely has to like pick up. Like this has to like fucking be way better than anything I've ever done. So
right.
to even like to start, the inspiration really, I mean, I feel like it really came out of nowhere. I knew I wanted to do a video for these songs, but I didn't really have like any like solid idea behind it. And then after a while, like I was just thinking about my resources, like what I have to make a video and what I could do. There was like a few scenes, like a few visions that came into my head, and I was just like, you know what, like let me make this really weird out of the box video for these 2 songs. And one day I was actually hotboxing in this car outside this Cameron show. This is where the initial idea is super random. Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking great.
I'm like, there was this like Brain was like DJing this Cameron show, right? And like
Word.
we're in this whip and we're hotboxing before they go on and everything like that. And I'm sitting in the back seat in the middle, and it was so hazy in this car and like clouded, and everybody's talking, everybody's like bullshitting with each other, everybody's having fun, and like we're so many blunts are in rotation. And I was literally thinking, and at that moment I'm like, this is a scene right here, like this is it, like what's going on right now. I needed to recreate this, but like in my way. I need to create this in my way. I was actually, in reality, I was in a car full of dudes. It was just me and hella dudes in this car, and we were smoking. But I was like, I need to recreate this with women, and that's where it came about. I mean, like for the first half of Cycles, I feel like it went along with the song All I See Is You perfectly, because the vibe, I feel like with that song is just more so of like something that you kind of think about when, like, you know, you're hanging out with your friends and you're smoking, but at the same time you kind of disassociate and you're thinking about that one person that you just want to talk to. And I know everybody's like felt that type of way at least one point in their life where they're just hanging out with their friends, and you know they're in their feelings at the moment. You know what I'm saying? They're thinking about someone, and that was the vibe that I was really trying to portray in that first half of the video, where I'm in the car and I'm with my friends and they're all having fun and we're all smoking, but I'm thinking about someone at that moment. So that was really the inspiration behind that first half of
Oh well,
Cycles.
that part when you like, I don't know, were you choking on smoke or was you having a heart problem in
No,
the car?
I was choking on smoke. I was choking on smoke. That was the part. But I was like, I don't know how to make this look realistic. I don't know if I'm a good actor or whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean, I was choking on some smoke. I hit the blunt too hard. So
Okay.
that was that.
Word. You hit the blunt too hard and went outside, then
Too
hit the blunt again. You have no respect for your lungs, nigga.
That's definitely me in real life. Like,
Oh fuck it.
that is definitely me. But, yeah. And then the second part is more so like I wanted it to feel like my dream world, like what's going on inside my head. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to like, I wanted the flow of it just to be like, all right, like I'm in the car with my friends, like chilling, thinking about this person, and then like I go outside with my homie and I take that one hit, and that just takes my head into a whole nother place, like my daydream at the moment. That's what that was supposed to be. Like you transition into that daydream, and it's just a bunch of like a bunch of random shit going on in my head. But yeah, that's pretty much like the whole second half of the video is just my daydream and what's going inside my brain.
Wow.
That's just it's a little peek inside my head.
So the dancing lobsters.
That was literally
that was a peek into your humor, huh?
Yeah, so that was a peek into my humor. The way I look at that, I feel like my brain is like, sometimes I'm like a dog. Like you have this one thought, and all of a sudden you just like switch to something else completely random, or while you're like, yeah, squirrels. that was the point I'm trying to get across. It's like a bunch of random things going on. You have the dancing lobsters coming in, then you have the dog coming in randomly. There's no point. There's no purpose, but it's just, you know what I'm saying? That's how my brain works.
Are the dudes holding cantaloupes in the video or just balls? What are
It's
they holding?
cantaloupes.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, cantaloupes.
Tell by texture. But yeah. But yo, like that video is just like the color, the lighting, everything. Like wow. Like
yeah, yo, you don't even understand the amount of time that we put into this video is like crazy. I definitely knew, like, I felt like all my other videos in the past have been very like super low budget, super rushed, super, you know, like just trying to get it done.
To give you some credit, like Ode to Him was pretty dope. Like
Thank you, but it was definitely a crazy time shooting it. That was the only thing. Like shooting it, I was just like, you know what, like we gotta be more organized than this. Like this is like, it came out great though. I'm happy with the result, but like the shooting process was definitely, I was just like, you know what, like I wanted to do something more put together. That was more so like the script that I made for that was like great, but it was very like, you know, impromptu, very like let's make up something on the spot type of video. And I had a lot of fun doing it, but I was just like, this time around I definitely want to do something crazier, and that it's gonna involve us definitely taking a lot of time and making sure like all of this could work out, and making sure that we fill in all these gaps and there's no missing holes and nothing. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the result, and everything definitely took a lot of time and a lot of thinking, and definitely a lot of late nights. Like I'm super happy with everyone that like helped me out with that video, because it was definitely not easy. I've cried many times throughout the whole process, But I mean, like the end result was great.
Tears of
So
success at this point.
years of success. I was just like, like I felt like it definitely changed me as a person, that whole music video, because I was just like, I have to stick it out. There was many times where I was just like, I want to quit this, but I felt like I really had to believe in the vision. Whatever I was making was gonna be dope, and just stick through it to the end. So
Right.
yeah.
And what you got is probably one of my favorite videos, because I was like, wow, she's a fucking industry plant. How dare she come out with such great fucking visuals?
Thank you.
Nah, like, yo, on some real shit, like your rollout to how you're doing everything has been really, really strategic and really good. I don't know if you think it is strategic or anything like that, but it's been very good.
Thank you. I mean, like, I don't even know. I feel like I try to be, but like not at the same time. I feel like a lot of the things are just like out of the blue, but it always ends up working out. So I roll with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just roll with it. But I'm happy that you like it. Thank you so much.
I think I put a couple people onto your music. I was like, I can't be the only person listening to this shit. This shit's not fair. Like, people gotta listen to this shit and like it before it becomes big.
Yeah.
I feel like when people wait for people to become famous, like, that shit is corny. I've really been saying that for years. Like,
It
yo,
really
like,
is corny.
fuck with it. Fuck with it when it's hot. I mean, fuck with it when it's at its beginning stages, and see it grow over time.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll be considered a fan. That's one of the biggest things. It's all about building your fan base and everything like that. And it seems like you're building that shit up very, very good, because you have the product that everybody wants, and that's good music.
Thank you. I mean, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I feel like I'm just a little small fry out here.
I don't think you're trying. I think you're doing. Like, I think trying is out the window when you are able to direct your own videos and have it change to the vision of what you want it to have it to. And not everybody can do that. And that's why, like, when I heard you was from Jersey, I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh man, we gotta put more light to these Jersey artists. Like, even though I've been doing that for a while, but I'm like, now the Jersey R&B scene, like, y'all some monsters.
Yeah.
Mellows.
People out here doing it. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why.
Like, we're living through history right now. It's literally history in the making. So
yes.
You just be a part of this.
I'm happy that y'all are a part of this too. Because damn, if you was in LA, I don't know how I feel about that. No, but is there anything you want people to get out of stretching?
I just want people to be comfortable with themselves, and just to think out the box. And it's okay to be weird. It's okay to not be like anyone else. It's okay to be funny sometimes. It's okay to not take yourself seriously all the time. It's okay to mess around. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's all okay. I feel like what I want people to take away from this project is just that, you could have fun and you could have a good time while making good music. You know what I'm saying? You could have it be original. Just be yourself and just, be yourself to the fullest and have fun. And I think that's the best way. That's the best way to make original, great music.
Yep. And being that it's a small offering, like, do you have more in store for the people?
I definitely do have more in store for the people, but I feel like
this shit gotta do better first.
when not even that. I definitely I'll leave it on this note. I have bigger things on the way. I usually don't like to talk about it too much.
Say no more.
Peaks, but it's just know.
It's coming.
This is nothing. There's more to come. There's definitely way more to come.
She said stretching is nothing. Stretching is something. Nothing. Chill.
This is just the intro. We just stretching right now. That's all we're doing. We're just stretching. And
so you talked about like how like you used to do running. So I guess the tracksuit is like the ode to your days back in the days when you used to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fucking dope.
Yeah. yeah, there's a lot more to come. A lot more to come soon.
All right.
Just stay tuned.
Yeah, and you just performed in the woods in at Liberation Festival. How was that experience?
That was great. It was great. It was great. That's all. It was really great. It was fun. I had a great time. Like the amount of artists that were there was crazy. All types of people all over the place linking up. It was crazy. I felt like I got to meet so many people. I got to meet so many people I knew off the internet in person, which was awesome. It was a great time. The performance was awesome. Um, Damn, it was just like I really love when like everyone could come together and just show love, and I feel like that's all it was. Just everybody showing love, linking up, chilling, eating, drinking, just having
Smoking.
fun together. Yeah, smoking. It was a very very great time. I'm glad to have performed with the dudes that I performed with, because I really like them personally, but musically like they're monsters. So shout out to Rocky's Rain and Jonathan Evers and Brain Orchestra for coming through and playing with me, because that was definitely an experience and a great set. And I definitely am trying to we're gonna be doing more stuff together, performing more together.
Word.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But Madlib was definitely uh it was definitely a great festival. Like I got to catch so many people and meet so many people. So that was definitely, it was a very overwhelmingly loving and fun event. Like that was definitely, it was great. It was great.
Word. So now we're at the end of the episode. This is the part where you get to plug in your social media, your projects, any of the shows you got coming up. So I'm giving you the floor.
All right. So my name is Naja Young. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, the whole jazz. Naja Young. I just dropped Stretching. Go check that out. That's on all streaming devices. So you can listen to that everywhere, whatever your preference is.
Straight. Wait. Streaming devices? So you're on Roku?
I mean, streaming services.
So
Sorry.
you're on Roku out this bitch?
No.
Amazon Fire Stick?
Streaming services. Sorry. No, I'm on all streaming services. Go check me out. Listen to it on your way to work, while you're walking your dog, whatever. Just listen to it.
Yo, Layla's a fucking star.
I love Layla. She's actually sitting here right next to me right now.
Aww.
She's sleeping. She's a doll. I love her so much. But she's always down for the ride. She's always down to do the fun stuff. So that's why I love her so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's much more to come, y'all. So definitely just rock with me for a bit. Stay tuned. I'm gonna be performing at Pet Shop in Jersey City, October 2nd. So definitely come through. There's gonna be way more people performing there. Right now, I'm not exactly sure who else is performing, but I'll be performing. So come through to come see me. You'll hear Stretching live, and yeah, that's all I got for you right now.
Yeah, catch up, ho.
Yeah.
Yo, Naja, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Like, to be honest, my fucking executive producer got me scared as shit to interview you. I was really because she had me like, yo, like, she's weird. I'm like, no, she fucking ain't. I read some of the interviews. I was like, she's fine. Let her go. No, you do have something on your Twitter saying like you're not like interested, or you're not like you're weird or something like that.
I
but
recently just changed it, but
thank God you did.
I'm not as cool as you think I am.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how it was. I always felt like people, like gassed me up to be something more than what I am. That's why I'm just like, dude, I'm just like everybody else.
Like he said,
I'm not that cool.
So my executive producer was like, she's like straightforward. He said, now I'm like looking at it, like she gave me paragraphs, motherfucker. Like, but yo, it was most definitely a pleasure to have you on the show. Like I said, I'm a fan of your music. I want to see you succeed, and not like I said, if I post your music, it's out of love and respect for what you do, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Thanks for rocking with me, man, for sure.
Not a problem. When's October 2nd?
Pet Shop. There's gonna be
Is
so
that a
it's
Tuesday or is that a Saturday? What's
it's a
going?
Tuesday night. Tuesday night.
Oh, that means I will make an appearance. All right, good.
Yes.
I will make an appearance, most
Yes. Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
I don't like coming out the house, but it's all right. I'll make an appearance for Pet Shop because Pet Shop's pretty cool.
Yeah. No. No. I fuck with Pet Shop. Pet Shop's cool.
Yeah. So, yo, thank you for all for tuning in to Gem Radio episode 31. Oh, shit, it's not 31, it's 32. Thank you for tuning in to Gem Radio episode 32 with Naja Young. We'll see you next time. We'll be going on a 3-week hiatus. And we'll see you then. I don't know what's going to happen then. You know, hopefully I'll be doing work, working on other things. You may never know. At the end of the day, just stay tuned and enjoy these 2 episodes that just been released. No, actually 5 episodes that have been released with amazing artists that have been interviewed due to their products being out and stuff like that. And we'll see what happens when the next season comes. We'll see you next time.